Hello, just a little announcement. I now have a channel on BitChute. Gotta be careful about pronouncing that correctly. I'm pretty sure this video is gonna get demonetized on YouTube simply for mentioning the name BitChute. But I don't have my videos monetized anyway. But anyway, yeah, well, but that is kind of the reason why many people go to BitChute. Yeah, well, and it's pretty much the same reason for me. Well, not really. For most people, it's censorship. For me, it's also because the algorithms on, yeah, I talked about that before. The algorithms on Google, YouTube, and Facebook and stuff. They do serve a censorship role, so to say. But that's exactly what I don't like. I don't like those algorithms. I don't like a machine deciding things for me. I don't like that. If I subscribe to a channel, I want to be able to see the videos I subscribe to, and not the videos that some algorithm thinks that I should watch. I don't like that. I could have made a lot of money if I had monetized my videos. If you look at my channel, you know that some of my videos have millions of views. I could have made a lot of money, and it probably would have had even more views if I had monetized them. But I don't like that. I don't like that whole, algorithm deciding what you watch and deciding what you should watch based on what ads to show you and stuff. I don't like that, which is why I made a BitChute channel. Even though, yeah, well, BitChute isn't perfect either. Well, it's not the fault of BitChute. They're basically still just starting out. But their biggest advantage is, of course, also their biggest flaw. And, their biggest advantage is that they don't censor, which is their biggest advantage. But it's also their biggest flaw, because it also means that, you have all kinds of videos by people with rather extreme views. And I don't like that. I don't like extremists any more than anybody. I'm very much against extremism of any kind. And if you watched any of my videos, basically, then you know that. But you can't stop the extremists by censoring them. You just make them stronger. Just like what Facebook did the other day, censoring me because because I was actually saying something against racism and slavery. But of course, if you are against racism and against slavery, you have to be against all of it. You can't say something like, yes, I'm against racism and slavery, but if a certain race enslaves a certain other race, then that's okay if that race is doing it. If you say something like that, then you're not against racism. Right? So I didn't do that. I just said it's wrong in general. It's wrong in general to be racist, and it's wrong in general to enslave people, no matter who does it. But of course, on Facebook with political correctness and stuff, you can't be against certain kinds of slavery. For example, you can't say on Facebook that it was wrong for Muhammad as a white guy. I mentioned that in the other video. You can find that in the Muslim sources. Muhammad was a white guy, and he owned black slaves, and I think that's wrong. I also think that's wrong if non-Muslims are doing it. I think slavery is wrong in general. I'm just not excluding Muslims. I'm not saying, well, slavery is wrong except when Muslims are doing it. I'm saying it. Slavery is wrong no matter who's doing it. And Facebook doesn't like that. Facebook wants you to say slavery is wrong except when Muslims are doing it. In that case, when Muslims are doing it, then according to Facebook, I don't know, either it's fine or you should just not mention it at all, But I think you should mention it because you should speak out against it no matter who does it. And of course, Mohammed is long dead, but what he did has relevance. Even today, there are a lot of Muslim extremists who continue his practices, including his practices of slavery, precisely because he did it. So I think we need to speak out against that, just like we need to speak out against any other form of slavery and racism. And I have spoken out against other forms of slavery and racism in the past, and I'm just not excluding any form of slavery and racism. But of course, the algorithm. I don't think the algorithm of Facebook and Google and stuff does that intentionally. They just. They can't really. Sometimes they're really bad at telling the context and stuff. I guess I don't know, but you can understand why I don't like being censored. I think people should be able to speak out against all racism and against all slavery, and of course by censoring people like me. And of course they're not only censoring me, but they even, what I'm trying to get at is that they're even censoring it when you're really not. I mean, I didn't say anything evil, I was just saying slavery is wrong no matter who does it, right? And that's something you should be able to say, right? But you're not allowed to say that on Facebook, for example. So yeah, and Facebook thinks that way they can work against racism, but well, that's because their definition of racism is racist. They have a different definition of racism. It's only racist if certain races are doing it. That by definition is racist in and of itself, But even Facebook's weird definition of racism, even by their definition, they're just making it worse, because that's the best thing you can do to promote a racist, to help a racist. That is by censoring him, because then he will paint himself as the victim and say, look, yeah, I got censored, I can't speak, there is a big conspiracy. There isn't, I got censored, and I'm not saying there's a big conspiracy, but yeah, so actually all that censorship is not doing anything against hate speech, against racism, against bigotry. It just makes it worse. It makes the bigoted people think that they're in the right, literally speaking and figuratively speaking. So yeah, so I don't. So because BitChute doesn't censor, you have some people with extreme views on there, just like you have people on there with normal views. But even that, what is normal? That's another question. But you have all kinds of people in there, including extremists, sadly. But that can't be helped, I guess. If they don't censor, then yeah. But I don't think that's so bad. Like I said, I think it's actually better to let them speak than to try and ban them, because if you try and ban them, you just make them think that they're the victims, which they're not. So yeah, so overall I do think BitChute is a good thing, and when it comes to those extreme views, just don't give them the audience. I mean, you don't have to watch them. Yes, there were some extremists on there, but why would you follow them? Follow me.